Starting with Brandon,
Good morning. My name is Brandon Beauvais.
Casey,
This is Cassie Lake Skyler.
Giselle,
Hi, this is Tasata.
Jasmine,
Hi, this is Jasmine Atchison.
Jenny,
Morning, my name is Jenny Jen.
my wife Latavia,
Morning, my name is Latavia Ford.
and Spencer.
Good morning. My name's Spencer Millard.
So the first brief is going to be an information brief, right? So this is an information brief on the origins and evolution of the U.S. military intelligence. For most people, war is defined by their images of like tanks and aircraft and soldiers fighting on the battlefield. However, long before those battles begin, another conflict is taking place behind the scenes. Military intelligence focuses on the gathering and analyzing of enemy capabilities and future actions and predictions. Intelligence allows military leaders to anticipate threats, plan operations, and reduce uncertainty during conflicts. To understand how military develops, we begin with the earliest intelligence operations in American history. So, the origins of U.S. military intelligence. So it can be traced back from the American Revolution, during which General George Washington recognized that understanding British troop movements could help um, shape the revolutionaries' plans and forces and give them strategic advantages. In 1778, Washington helped establish the Cobra Spy Ring, which operated primarily in New York. Members of this network secretly gathered information about British forces and passed it back to Washington headquarters. Because there was no formal intelligence organization at this time, these early intelligence efforts relied on secrecy, trust, and communication methods such as coded letters and invisible ink. The Cobra Spy Ring became one of the most effective intelligence networks during the Revolutionary War. The group was organized by Major Benjamin Talmagan and consisted of civilians, merchants, and soldiers who gathered information behind British lines. Yeah, these spies use several methods to protect these identities, including pseudonyms and numerical code systems in which information was passed through a chain of carriers. And Washington didn't even know most of these spies. All right. So this is how in the Civil War, right, intelligence operations were conducted. So it was more organized than previous conflicts. One of the most important things is in Union intelligence. One of the most intelligence officers was Alan Pinkerton, a detective who later led the Union Intelligence Service. Pinkerton's organization collected information on Confederate troop movements, positions, and military strength. Intelligence was gathered through scouts, spies, and prisoners of war and local informants. Another important development was the use of telegraph technology. Military telegraph corps allowed commanders to send intelligence reports quickly across large distances. These advancements made intelligence an increasingly important part of military strategy, right? So understanding like where troop movements are, or the best way to cut them off. So after the Civil War, the United States began to developing like more formal intelligence organizations. So talk about the expansion of military intelligence during World War One. In 1885, the U.S. Army created a military intelligence division. The division was responsible for collecting and analyzing information about foreign militaries, potential threats before this point, intelligence operations were usually temporary and only conducted during wartime. So we were only doing stuff like, hey, we got attacked or we're attacking people, and that's when we start analyzing enemies, right? But this was often like too late. Like you want to plan strategically before you enter a war and adjust as you're going through the war. When the United States entered in World War One in 1917, intelligence operations expanded significantly. New intelligence disciplines began to develop, including signals intelligence, aerial reconnaissance, and code breaking. Aircraft equipped with cameras were used to photograph enemy troops and trenches and supply lines, while signals intelligence units intercepted enemy communications. So, this formal expansion, the establishment of the Military Intelligence Corps. By the mid 20th century, intelligence had become essential for modern warfare. After World War II and early Cold War, the U.S. Army recognized the need to organize intelligence into a permanent branch. On July 1st, 1962, the Army officially established Military Intelligence Corps. The new branch unified several intelligence specialties, including signals, human intelligence, counterintelligence, and imagery analysis. Fort Huachuca in Arizona became the main training center for intelligence soldiers and remains the home of Army Intelligence Center of Excellence today. Decision marked an important turning point because intelligence was no longer treated as a temporary wartime functioning, but as a permanent part of military operations. During the Cold War, intelligence capabilities expanded even further through technology advances. So, after World War II, tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union led to the Cold War. During this period, intelligence became one of the most important tools for monitoring an enemy's capabilities and preventing surprise attacks. The National Security Act of 1947 created the modern intelligence structure and established Central Intelligence Agency. While we had satellite programs, allowed analysts to collect photographs on enemy troop territories from space. These intelligence systems played a crucial role in developing new technologies later on today. So, war on terror and intelligence operations, right? After terrorists attacked on 9/11, the United States launched military operations in Afghanistan and Iraq. Intelligence operation during this period focused on counterintelligence and counterinsurgents rather than traditional state-to-state warfare. And intelligence analysts worked hard to track terrorist networks. One of the major technology advancements was the use of unmanned aerial vehicles, such as the MQ-1 Predator drone. These drones allowed analysts to monitor enemy activity in real time and provide immediate intelligence to commanders. The war on terror emphasized integrating multiple intelligence disciplines, including signals intelligence, human intelligence, and digital data analysis, right? So you want to confirm your intelligence using multiple disciplines, not just one. So through satellite images and drone footage, to confirm that we get the right guy. Today, military intelligence continues to evolve as the United States prepares for future large-scale combat operations. Modern intelligence integrates satellite surveillance, cyber intelligence, drones, and artificial intelligence to analyze large amounts of information quickly. These capabilities allow commanders to understand the battlefield across multiple domains, including land, sea, cyber, and space. So, next, right, this has been the history of the United States military intelligence, right? So we've been shown like how we've used to go from, code breakers and telegrams to cyberspace, satellite images, and more advanced technology that you have to have intelligence backing that, tracking what's happening, because if you go in blind, bad things will happen. So today's intelligence professionals operate across multiple domains, right? And thank you for paying attention to the first half of my brief, the origins and evolution of military intelligence.